Hi, I'm Anchika and today I'm going to discuss about the India-China relationship. So firstly, before understanding relationship between two countries, we need to understand the basic principles and general philosophy that country works on. So, talking about India, India's philosophy is Nehru Gandhian philosophy. It means that peaceful coexistence is the key to everything, and everything that comes around the table can be sorted with diplomacy and peace. There is no need of violence at all. And China's philosophy being completely opposite to that of India's. Chinese philosophy is Mao's philosophy. Now, what is Mao's philosophy? This is Mao's philosophy. What is this? Let me explain. This is China, the hand. This is Tibet, the palm. These five are Arunachal Pradesh, Ladakh, Sikkim, Nepal, and Bhutan. Mao's philosophy is nothing else but to control these five kingdoms with the help of Tibet and make China a united kingdom. And this is what China is doing till date. It's following Mao's philosophy. Now, the dispute that China and India has to have a beginning. So let's go to beginning, that is British India. One day suddenly British ordered Officer Johnson to make a division line between India and China. He did so and made a line between India and China named as Johnson Line. Unaware of this line, China made its own line that was known as McDonald Line. Now, these two lines had a disputed area in between, that was Aksai Chin area. China claimed that Aksai region belonged to China, whereas India's line said that it was India's territory. This is where the Western dispute started. Now going to Eastern dispute. This is British, this is China. And British had a philosophy of keeping a buffer state in between a state which is communist. So, in case of China, British thought that Tibet would be the best state, buffer state between a communist state China and British state India. So, British said that let's make Tibet a buffer state. But China claimed that Tibet is its territory. Here the problem starts. Just to resolve that problem, in 1914 a Shimla Accord was kept. Now what is this? It proposed that Tibet will be divided into two parts. One part which is touched with India's boundary and second which is touched with Chinese boundary. Now, the boundary that touches with India will be under the Tibetan government and will be called as McMahon Line. And the line which is with Chinese territory will be under Chinese government. Now, China, Tibet and British India had to sign the consent, but China walked away. However, Tibet and British India did sign the consent, and in 1914 the problem was resolved. But in 1950, China invaded with 40,000 troops in Tibet and destroyed all the infrastructure, culture, and destroyed the population of Tibet. Now, thankfully, at that time, Vallabhbhai Patel sensed that next target of China could be Arunachal Pradesh, which was military-less. There was no military bases there, and thankfully, after sensing this, Vallabhbhai Patel sent millions of military people to there. Military camps were settled there, and thankfully, China didn't do anything. But China was now planning something different. It, without informing India, from India's Aksai region, made a road to its territory, and in 1962 October it invaded India without information. India failed. However, all the soldiers tried very hard. There were so many casualties, deaths. India failed. Not because India was not capable, but because India was unprepared. No step was taken by Prime Minister and the government for this. But soon after 1962, thankfully, the Indian government understood the intentions of China and renamed the McMahon line, that is the line between Tibet and India, as LAC, Line of Actual Control, which said that there will be military bases. There were many soldiers there which will be protecting the boundary, and thankfully it is still now active till present. Now what we need to understand from these attacks and all these stuff that China did in past is that we need to understand three philosophies of China. First philosophy, cartographic aggression. China does something with the maps and confuses territories and then claims territories of its own. Second, salami strategy. This means that dividing small pieces and then acquiring it. That means it claims small places that it's there and then they cover whole territory. Third, total war. China goes with total war. China thinks that we can go with war on air, water, land, and even cyberspace. India never does so. So I feel and I wish that the present is not destroyed and India understands the intention of China's properly. And I hope that this situation which was in past will not happen again. Thank you.